Good evening and welcome to WNBA Trending. I'm Ava, and tonight we're diving into a major controversy that has swept across the WNBA involving Commissioner Cathy Engelbert, Indiana Fever rookie sensation Caitlin Clark, and the heated debate over player salaries. This story has dominated headlines, sparked emotional reactions from fans, and placed the league's leadership in the spotlight. It all began earlier this week when an alleged comment attributed to Commissioner Engelbert began circulating across social media. According to unverified reports, Engelbert was said to have downplayed Caitlin Clark's impact on league-wide salaries, allegedly remarking that one player could not single-handedly change the WNBA's financial structure. The supposed quote quickly went viral, sparking outrage from fans who felt it was dismissive of the incredible influence Clark has had on the league in just her first year. Clark, the #1 overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, has already become the face of the league. She has been drawing massive television audiences, selling out arenas, and breaking jersey sales records. Her presence has elevated the Indiana Fever from a rebuilding team into a must-watch franchise. Because of this, many believe that Clark has done more in a single season to expand the WNBA's popularity than perhaps any player in league history. When fans saw the alleged Engelbert quote, the reaction was swift and fiery. Social media platforms filled with posts criticizing the commissioner for what was perceived as a lack of appreciation for Clark's contributions. The controversy gained momentum as commentators and analysts debated whether the WNBA was doing enough to recognize and capitalize on its new superstar. For some, the alleged comment represented a broader problem, that the league has long failed to fully embrace its biggest stars, especially when it comes to the salary conversation. In response, Commissioner Engelbert released a statement firmly denying that she ever made the remark. She stressed that she has never once downplayed Clark's role in elevating the WNBA and instead praised the rookie as a generational talent. Engelbert stated, "We deeply value every player in our league, including Caitlin Clark, whose impact this season has been historic." The conversation about salaries is not about one individual, but about building sustainable growth for the WNBA. Her denial calmed some concerns, but for many, the controversy only underscored how sensitive and important the issue of salaries has become. Currently, the WNBA's maximum base salary is just under $250,000 per season, with most rookies like Clark earning far less than their NBA counterparts. For comparison, the top pick in the NBA draft signs a rookie contract worth tens of millions of dollars guaranteed. While no one realistically expects WNBA pay to reach NBA levels overnight, the gap is staggering. What makes the debate even more heated is the fact that Clark's popularity has driven tangible financial gains for the league. Indiana Fever games featuring Clark have been among the highest-rated broadcasts in league history. Her jersey became one of the best-selling items on Fanatics within hours of release. Her presence has filled arenas, not just in Indiana, but in nearly every city the Fever have visited. Fans argue that if Clark is generating millions of dollars for the league, she and her peers should see that reflected in their paychecks. Supporters of Engelbert point out that raising salaries is not as simple as flipping a switch. The WNBA's financial model has historically struggled, with teams often operating at a loss. Engelbert has made expansion, sponsorship growth, and television rights deals her top priorities, believing that lasting change requires sustainable revenue streams. She argues that the league is already on the cusp of a financial breakthrough, pointing to an upcoming media rights negotiation that could bring in dramatically higher revenue. Still, for many, that explanation feels too slow. Fans want immediate recognition of Clark's contribution, and they see her as proof that the league has already arrived at a new level of popularity. On talk shows, podcasts, and sports panels, debates rage about whether the WNBA should create new structures that allow its biggest stars to be compensated beyond the current salary cap, much like the NBA does with endorsement tie-ins and revenue-sharing models. The controversy has also sparked wider discussions among WNBA players themselves. While few players have commented directly on Engelbert's alleged quote, many have been outspoken about the need for higher salaries. Stars like Aya Wilson and Breanna Stewart have previously noted that WNBA athletes are some of the most underpaid professional athletes relative to their impact and workload. Angel Reese, another high-profile rookie alongside Clark, has echoed similar sentiments. What makes the Caitlin Clark situation unique is that she represents not just a great player, but a cultural phenomenon. Her record-setting performances at Iowa carried over into the professional level, where her name alone brings attention, sponsorships, and coverage. Fans point to athletes like Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, and Serena Williams as examples of stars who transformed their sports economies. They argue that Clark deserves to be treated the same way, as a once-in-a-generation player who can elevate the WNBA's bottom line. On the other hand, there are those who caution against leaning too heavily on one player. Analysts note that while Clark is undoubtedly a superstar, the long-term success of the WNBA must be built on a foundation that supports all players and all teams. Engelbert herself has stressed that growth must be balanced and not dependent on a single individual. This balance is delicate. The WNBA has prided itself on being a league that values collective strength, teamwork, and equality. Yet, sports history shows that superstars often serve as catalysts for economic change. Without Clark, the Fever would likely not be selling out arenas or dominating television ratings. Without Clark, the broader public might not be paying this much attention to the WNBA at all. That reality is difficult to ignore. As the backlash continues, the question becomes, what will the WNBA do next? The upcoming media rights deal may prove to be a turning point. If the league can secure a contract worth significantly more than its current deal, that revenue could be used to push salaries higher. Engelbert has hinted that major progress is on the horizon, but fans remain skeptical until they see concrete results. Expansion is also on the table, with new franchises expected to join the league in the next few years. More teams mean more revenue opportunities, but also more financial pressure. At the same time, Clark's presence has created unprecedented momentum, and many fans feel the WNBA cannot afford to wait years before addressing the pay issue. Through all of this, Caitlin Clark has remained focused on the court. She has not publicly addressed the controversy over Engelbert's alleged comment, choosing instead to let her play speak for itself. Night after night, she continues to deliver highlight performances, proving that she is not only worthy of the hype, but capable of carrying the league to new heights. In the end, this story is about much more than a disputed quote. It reflects a pivotal moment in the history of the WNBA. The league is at a crossroads, with unprecedented attention and opportunity thanks to Caitlin Clark. How it responds to the calls for change, particularly when it comes to salaries, will define its future. Cathy Engelbert may not have made the alleged remark, but the reaction to it speaks volumes. Fans are no longer willing to accept excuses. They see the growth, they see the star power, and they see the potential. For many, the time for action is now. As this story develops, one thing remains certain. Caitlin Clark has already changed the WNBA. The only question is whether the league will change with her. That's all for tonight's report. I'm Ava, and this has been WNBA Trending. Stay tuned for more updates as this debate continues to unfold.